Welcome to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. If you're passionate about Central Florida theme parks like we are, then you've come to the right place. Now on to the show. Here's your host, Bill Balcerski.
Universal Disney Nuts. I am Bill, your host. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. UDN Live, the Memorial Day edition.
Yep.
Yes.
Happy Memorial Day,
Exactly.
although it's not something to be happy about.
No.
But we celebrate the start of summer.
Yes.
Why is everybody looking over there?
Because you pointed over there.
I just put my hand out.
Are they in the wood?
I just put my hand out. That's all.
What? What's out there?
So a lot of misconceptions about Memorial Day because it's different from the other holidays. So I just wanted to kind of touch on that just for a second. So there's 3 different holidays that people get all kinds of confused about.
Yes.
There's Armed Forces Day, there's Veterans Day, and then there's today, which is Memorial Day.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so the best way I could describe it to you folks so you can remember is that one is for members who are still in uniform.
That's Armed Forces Day.
Right.
Yep.
Veterans Day is for those who have hung up the uniform.
Correct. Have retired or whatnot.
And Memorial Day is for the people who never had the chance to take off the uniform,
Correct.
that they have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. They are remembered for it. Obviously, we have a lot of members. We look up at the Tiki Bar Hall of Fame. We see Mr. Ballant. We see Mr. Hoffman.
Mr. Hoffman. Yeah.
That all served. And so we think of them on this
My Uncle
Memorial
Steve.
Day. Uncle Steve, exactly. With that being said, please let's take a moment of silence for our fallen heroes that have given us our freedoms. Thank you.
Amen.
We are at the Tiki Bar, so a toast, ladies and gentlemen, to
Cheers.
Long distance.
long distance. There you go.
Clink, clink.
Yep.
Dave's on the other side of the bar. To all of those who made the sacrifice for us.
With my 2-for-1.
Far be it for Dave not to have more than one drink at the bar.
It's happy hour. Buy one, get one.
I was going to say.
Or in this case, walk to the garage and grab 2.
Well, you know, it is always happy hour here. It is always happy hour.
Somewhere,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. So we're back at it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful, beautiful Florida
Yes.
day. My God, they've blessed us with an awesome day today.
Yep.
It was a little warm this afternoon, but it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't like melt your face off hot.
It was
there
the other
was
day.
A little bit
Yeah.
of oh gosh, yes.
Yeah, the other
But
day was
there
stupid.
At least there was a little bit of a breeze blowing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's always a chance for rain, but I don't think so today. I think
No.
it'll be
No,
okay.
we still have blue sky and white puffy clouds.
It's beautiful, beautiful. So we've done a bunch of adventures here lately,
You
We
have.
have.
and thank you, big thank you to a UDN member and my brother-in-law Nick for coming up with the
Yes.
Bag of Happiness challenge.
Yes,
That was actually pretty cool.
it was. We started off really, really well. I mean, so back up here. So the Bag of Happiness challenge is all of the bars that are at the Walt Disney World resorts. So this does not include the bars in the parks or like Bonnet Creek or even Disney Springs. This is just resort bars.
Right. So resort restaurant bars too. Like
Yes.
it could be a restaurant, but it has a bar kind of thing.
Yeah.
So apparently Nick has gone around Disney and
Had too much free
recorded
time.
every single bar that exists at these resorts.
Recorded or drank at?
Well, it could be
No,
both.
but-
No, there was
Well, he did a lot
whole
of the
ton
research online.
research, yeah.
But
Internal research.
And
there's around 70
70
of them.
bars.
Wow.
Like, oh
Yeah,
my God.
like this includes like the pool bars.
Yeah, I was
going
going
to
to say,
like that
some of
too.
the hotels
So,
have 4 or 5
yeah,
easily.
exactly.
Far be it for us not to indulge a little bit. And so what he did was he wrote down on a piece of paper
Yeah.
all the different bars, and he went over the top. Like he had Disney stickers on them, And like the
Yeah,
font,
so each of the papers
No, they were
are
nice. I
Yeah.
the pictures are on UDN. Obviously, we posted it
And
while
the
we did it.
Disney, yeah. And
The Disney
font.
I was like, wow, you really put a lot of thought into this, bro.
So the way this came about was he got tired of basically going to the same bars like over and over again. So this was a way to go to a variety of different places and experience basically bars that we would never even think to go to.
Right. So it puts us out of our comfort zone a little
Yeah.
bit, and we're able to go to all these different places. Now, the challenge that we discovered while we were doing this challenge is the parking. Because we go to certain locations, some places let you in to go to a bar, and there's other places that are like, yeah, go pound sand. If you don't have a reservation or you're not staying here, you're not parking. You know, because Disney's trying to squash that whole free parking thing, right? So in the past, you used to be able to go to these resorts, park your car, and then you would get free parking, you could roam around, do whatever you want to do. Well, Disney's put a kibosh on that, and they're trying to prevent people from parking. Because where Kona and Simba are here now. Happy Memorial
Hello,
Day
boys.
weekend to you boys. So that was a challenge. So we started off, the first one we pulled was The View, which was the rooftop bar at the new Swan Reserve
the
Hotel.
Grand Reserve Swan.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, whatever.
So it was owned by the same people that own the Swan and Dolphin.
Right.
So, and it's
Marriott,
across
I
the
think.
road.
Was it
Yes,
Marriott?
And we had a little bit of a snag there because we go up to the top and it's on the 15th floor and it's closed for a wedding.
Now, the issue that we took with the situation was there was nothing on the ground floor that indicated, hey, the View is closed for a private event.
Right.
So there was nothing downstairs that told us that. So when we got up there, we walked off the elevator to check it out, and they were like Nazis, man. They were all over us.
Yeah,
they were like,
there
hey,
was,
hey, hey, hey.
security, and we're like,
They're like, this is a private event. This is a private event. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. You got to go. And I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy. Like, there's nothing downstairs that says this place is closed. And of course, they were being jerks about it. And they were actually pretty rude to us. But we were like, okay, no problem, man. Like, chill out. We'll leave, you know? So we get back on the elevator. We go back down. The hotel itself is very adventure-ish. You know, it's got that retro vibe,
Yeah.
you know, like, it didn't win me over. You know, it was kind of haphazardly thrown together. It's what it kind of looked like, you know.
It wasn't
like,
Be Our Guest?
No, definitely not. So The View was a strikeout. So we had to put that one back and draw another.
Yep.
Well, the second one we drew on the Rocks pool bar that was at Saratoga Springs.
Yes.
The second one that we pulled was Komodo's, which is a sushi bar that was at the Swan.
Yes.
So we went there and we sat at the bar, and the bartenders were super fun to be with. And we
had a good time. With
had a
them.
great time. We had some good drinks. We had some sushi.
Yeah, we had
You
some
know,
sushi
It was not as good as
at Splitsville.
Splitsville.
But
Definitely
it
not.
It still was good.
I mean, it was decent. I mean, it was good sushi. It just wasn't Splitsville sushi. Right? So if we were going to run around and have drinks at these different places, you know, it was
were
key to eat.
definitely- yeah.
We had to eat, right? So
But this is also good for Bill and I because we've been trying to work our way through all of the restaurants on Disney property. So this actually kind of helps us out a little bit. Too.
yeah, it does. It does.
Force a drink on Bill. I'll dare you.
Right.
I know, right?
So Komodo's worked out really well, and that was cool.
Yeah. that was a
And
lot of
then
fun.
we went to the beach bar on the Rocks, which was at the pool area of Saratoga Springs.
Yes.
And that was very nice. The atmosphere was very cool. It had a very cool vibe.
Yeah, you could sit there and listen. It was very relaxed because you could listen to the waterfalls and everything else that were around that.
Yeah, they didn't have a
Cool.
bar per se. They had like a pool bar. We could walk up and order something. It was like a quick serve thing, and the bartender could make your drinks, and then you have to walk off. You can't just hang out at the bar, that kind of thing. So
There was tables around it and stuff.
yeah, and we enjoyed some frozen drinks there.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was off to Citrios,
Yes.
right?
Citricos, yeah.
Citricos.
Over at the Grand Floridian.
Now that's the bar that's right next, the restaurant bar that's right next to Albert's and Victoria's.
Victoria and Albert's.
All right, whatever. You get the point.
Which has not reopened
No, really,
yet.
we don't.
Yeah, it has not reopened. They still have tape on the windows, that kind of stuff. But
So,
I think they're doing a little
rumor-
refurb, maybe.
it's rumored to be reopening very soon, so we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
But-
So we had a drink there, and that worked out really well. That drink I had was really good. It had the passion fruit boba in it.
Yes, you had. It was like
It was a margarita, I
yeah,
think.
passion fruit margarita.
Yeah, it was very good. So kudos to Nick for coming up with a cool idea that
That is.
Yeah, so
Kinda
we
gets
started
us
off
out.
at 3 places that none of us had been to any one of those 3. We started really strong off of the boat because that's exactly what this whole thing was designed to do, was to go to different bars that we had never been to.
yeah, so it really worked out well for us. But we're going to get to the point where we're pulling bars that we've been there, done that.
Well, yeah,
You know.
I mean, that's going to happen. But out of the 70 in these different resorts, how many of them have we really actually been to? I mean, we've been to the one at the Polynesian, and we've been to, I mean, a majority of the ones that we've been to have been at Disney Springs, which this doesn't include Disney Springs.
No.
We've been to the one bar at Coronado Springs at Three Bridges.
Yep.
And we've been to the one bar over at the Caribbean Beach Resort, the pool bar there. But other than that, we really haven't been to a whole lot of
The Polynesian ones you've been
Well,
to.
yeah, yeah.
I still haven't
I mean,
done that
duh.
one.
Right?
Oh,
Believe
and
it or
I've been to the Enchanted Rose at the Grand Floridian, but I know my brother and Bill have not gone there. So
Yeah, so it's a great way of getting out and kind of seeing everything. And, we only have one drink per the location.
Mm-hmm.
The downside to this that we didn't know about was 2 things. First, the parking, which is going to be a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Second thing is it's pricey. Like, wow.
Yeah.
You throw in small amounts of food plus the drinks, you're looking at $100 bar tab.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so
easily.
it was like one place was $100, another place was $100. And obviously we split the cost, but
Yeah.
it was expensive. Like,
We're doing this once a month.
yeah,
So-
we're going to try. We're going to try. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts to it. We're going to try to do it once a month. I mean, Nick's drinks alone were $15 a piece.
Yeah.
Well, it's Disney.
Yeah.
I would say
exactly.
a majority
So,
of ours were all like $15 a piece.
Yeah.
A
So
majority
it's
of
expensive,
them.
but Bag of Happiness Challenge was absolutely fun. So thank you, Nicholas.
Very
Yeah, we're looking forward to, and we'll keep you posted on the next ones. If you happen to be in town or local, we'll post on the Facebook page where the next date that we're going to do this on.
Right.
Probably towards the end of June, and we'll go from there. And if you'd like to come out and join us and 3 different
Join the
bars,
Bag of Happiness
yeah.
Challenge with us. You're more than welcome to.
Absolutely.
So,
More the merrier.
hey, like the opportunity to drink with fellow UDNers, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? So,
Doing that right now.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
We would
Here's
love
to you.
we would love to meet you.
Now that Memorial Day is kind of half done already, right? We're halfway through Memorial Day. The next big holiday coming up is 4th of July.
Well, Father's Day.
Okay, we have,
can't
yes,
forget
the
Father's
19th. 19th is Father's Day.
Yes.
But let's be honest, society doesn't care about fathers. They only care about mothers. So,
That's not true.
Uh,
Otherwise,
Dad
I
went out
wouldn't
for
have brought
cigarettes.
it up. It's true in some families, but
okay, we have Father's Day on the 19th. I get it. But Disney has already announced that we're not even in June yet. 4th of July weekend is completely booked for reservations. All 4 parks. You're not getting in 4th of July.
no.
You couldn't catch me in one of these
Well,
parks
and
except for when I
one
used to
of-
work there.
And one of the major reasons for that, and I was going to cover this, but I'll cover it now. The 4th of July fireworks over at the Magic Kingdom are back this year after a 2-year hiatus.
Right.
So it's Disney's Celebrate America, a 4th of July concert in the sky. And that's going to be on both July 3rd and 4th. And that even before the hiatus, this was one of the most popular fireworks shows for people to come out and see, because it's literally like a 360-degree view of fireworks.
Right. Plus, it's 4th of July. It's a big
Right.
holiday for here in America.
And it's a Monday this year, too.
You know, so that whole weekend plus that Monday, people are going to be in the parks. And here's the thing, folks. We're at the point now where the parks are busy year-round. And when it comes to holidays in the parks, forget about it.
Right.
If you don't get reservations 6 months in advance, 3 months in advance, you're not getting reservations. And this 4th of July weekend is just an example. It's not even June yet, and 4th of July is sold out.
Yeah.
So you really have to be on your P's and Q's and just kind of get out there and get after it as far as these reservations.
And if you're in the parks on those days, have a lot of patience.
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of people. Shoulder, nuts to
to
butts. Exactly. So a lot of people in these parks, folks. You got to stay patient. You got to stay cool and
Watch the fireworks
And
from the parking
stay
lot.
hydrated.
yeah, because we're getting into that time period. So
Yeah,
not
we're
surprising.
already- yeah.
Not surprising that Disney is at capacity, but especially during the holidays, I would get used to that because it's going to get harder and harder, like I said, to get into these parks. So
Yep.
you know how I feel about these reservations, bro.
Yeah, but it's also summer vacation for a lot of people. So
Right. And also, truth be told, if they didn't have the reservations, imagine what these parks would be like.
Well, yeah, you think of how much they've limited the capacity in the parks, and it's still going to be.
And they're talking about
Crazy.
limiting it even more,
Yeah.
like taking away even more reservations so that they have less and less people in there, because now they're starting to realize the more people that are in these parks, the less the quality of the product is. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
They just
Supply and
can't-
demand it.
Right.
they just can't handle the masses. And so, especially with after post-COVID, they don't have the international employees back yet. You know, like they just can't handle the amount of demand because everybody was caged up for COVID. Now they're trying to make up for that. So now they have a chance to go to Disney, and everybody is going to Disney.
Oh yeah. That's why you
Yeah.
hear on the radio hiring event with sign-on bonus is something you never would have heard prior.
Right.
Yeah, and it's.
And speaking of Disney and the 50th anniversary, they just released a brand new 50th anniversary music box.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is kind of cute. The music box features Cinderella Castle, Mickey, and Friends. It is now available at Walt Disney World. The music box first arrived on Shop Disney about a month ago, a little less than a month ago.
Really?
Yep. And we
Because I've
found
been
it.
on Shop Disney and I didn't see it anywhere.
Well, eBay, it's available for $750, but
Can buy it on Shop Disney for $69.99.
that's true. That's true. It's in the Emporium in Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
And the characters in Castle are all dressed up for the 50th anniversary in shades of blue, gold, purple, and white, like the existential Disney colors for 50th anniversary. There is a keepsake drawer that pulls out on the bottom. It has a little Mickey head on there for the knob there. So it's cool. As Tanya said, the music box is $69.99. For all of you who are interested, go on Shop Disney, or you can just Google it and you'll see what the box looks like. On the back of the box, it shows different stores like Main Street USA.
Right.
And then on the front, it's a pane glass and the characters dance in the back there with the music. And then you could just pull a little Mickey head thing out and the drawer comes out. It's actually pretty cool. Obviously something not what I would want, but I'm pretty sure that...
Are you letting
it'll
your
still end up
princess
in your
side
house.
out?
Yeah, I got nothing. So for all of you who are into the 50th anniversary, I think they're overkilling it, but that's just my opinion.
They're celebrating it for 18 months, so
Go for it.
it's
Go
going to
for
be
the
around
music
for a
box.
long, long time.
Look, it was fun when it came out, but now we're, you know what I mean? Like it's just getting old, like when you're charging $50 for a cup that says 50th anniversary on it.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, that's
see,
ridiculous.
and my whole thing is it's not Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary. It's Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. So what's going to happen when, like, say, Epcot hits its 50th and, like, Animal Kingdom and all of those?
They'll
What
come
are
up
they
with
gonna do?
other stuff that we have to buy. Like, And technically, I think you're a little off base on that.
How am I off base?
I will tell you how you're off base, sweetheart.
Epcot opened in 1982.
Yes,
Like,
correct.
That's far from being 50 years old.
Take it from the micro scale and go to the macro scale. Okay, when Disney came here in 1965 or whatever, yes, they opened the park in 71. Yes, we're on the 50th anniversary. But technically, that was the start of Walt Disney in Florida. It was 1971 when Magic Kingdom opened up.
Yeah,
So
and
technically,
that was the only park.
that was
that
the
opened.
birthday of the existence of Walt Disney World in Florida, because it started with Magic Kingdom. So when Magic
That's a
Kingdom
stretch.
opened up, how is it a stretch? When Magic Kingdom opened up, 1971, now you have Disney in Florida.
There was only one park.
It doesn't matter. The existence of Walt Disney existed in 1971. That was their
Semantics.
birthday.
Semantics.
So Disney is now over 50 years old, like you.
Magic Kingdom is over 50 years old.
Disney is over 50 years old.
Whatever.
And whatever else came after that, so be it. But Disney's existence, I'm not even going to stop. No, I'm done. It's like talking to a wall, folks. I can't even right now. I can't even. We're moving on. All right. So this is the famous weekend.
Leave it to me not to play devil's advocate.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Anyway, go on.
Crack a book, sweetheart. So
Oh, wow.
this is the famous weekend that Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster opens up.
That's why I sit on this side of the bar.
That's right. Dave is out of the firing zone. He's like, Switzerland over there. So,
Norway.
very good. The virtual lines are packed. Everybody's trying to get on it, thanks to the old media executive for letting us know that this is the weekend.
Exactly.
That it opens up, and it has. And good luck trying to get into the virtual lines. Social media posts have been posting all about it, although I haven't not seen a video yet of it.
There's videos out there-ish.
Ish.
It's a difficult one to try and video.
Yeah.
Because it's dark, right?
Yeah.
And
But I'll be getting into a little bit of that.
Okay. Queue lines were filling up within seconds.
Oh yeah, it's Rise of the Resistance all over again.
Oh God, yes.
So
And they said that when the queue lines opened in the morning, people would jump on to try to get onto the virtual assistant and get the reservations for it. And they said within half a minute, everything was packed.
Oh,
Everything
yeah,
was sold out.
absolutely. And then you
So-
can try again once you're in the park after 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
But then again, those are again.
Yeah,
filling
they're
up.
slowly releasing them.
Yeah.
And then the other big news about the ride was the whole motion sickness thing. A lot of people were complaining that it was too extreme and that people were getting sick left and right, and they were had to include motion sickness bags in the ride. And no.
Kind of like Mission Space all over again.
Yeah. They
But
said
you
that
know
it
what?
was
And
extreme.
But it's weird because I've also read a ton of posts that people have motion sickness and they were fine on it. But then there's other people that, have motion sickness. Obviously, they're, why are you looking at me?
Why
like
are you
that?
staring at me? We all know the reasons why I can't go on that ride.
I know that.
It's called vertigo, dear. It's not called
I
motion
understand.
sickness.
Some people have regular motion sickness.
I know,
It doesn't have
I
anything
know.
to do with vertigo.
So the
Oh,
big
do
problem.
not go.
But
Yes.
But so it seems like some people are fine with it, and then there's other people that don't. But it seems that the more people that can't handle it are outweighing the ones that can.
Right.
Hence the
Right. So they're
rides.
talking about the whole motion sickness thing and how bad the ride is. I think it's just new. People aren't used to it. There's a lot of different nuances to it. So
Right.
that's
It's a
the reason
backwards
why.
launch
Yeah,
and
backward
everything
launch and all
else.
that stuff.
It's
So
a lot of different things that you normally wouldn't experience in a typical roller coaster.
good on Disney for releasing the coaster and getting it finished. And from what we understand, it's an awesome ride.
Yep.
Some of us will be able to take advantage of it eventually. I mean, it took us 2 years to get on Rise of the Resistance. So
Yeah, but I'm actually going to pay to get onto this.
are you?
I
You're going to do it?
am, I am.
Okay.
I'm going to break down and buy it.
All right, moving
And
on.
I'll go over the cost later, too.
All right, moving on to Universal. Cabana Bay has offered a new resort discount. Guests can save up to 20% when booking 5 nights or more when traveling between June 3rd and August 13th.
Nice.
Strange. This offer includes any room type that must be booked by August 8th. Universal Cabana Bay Resort opened in 2014, and it has includes a 50s and 60s inspired Cuban.
Yes.
They're named after the different buildings are named after like throwbacks to hotels that used to be along the beaches here in Florida years ago.
Yeah.
Very like the turquoise blue and white
Yep.
and orange.
And they have the cars that are outside the
yeah.
resort. So it's very
cool.
Yeah.
It's
a
very
bowling alley.
like Key
50s,
West-ish,
60s.
Yeah.
Cuba, 50.
Very- yeah.
Yeah, 50s, 60s.
They got a
kinda.
retro mug right now. I didn't write that down as part of my Universal, but they brought back their refillable mugs over there just for the hotel. So
Oh, really?
A couple cool things about Cabana Bay is that they have unrestricted access to Volcano Bay, and then they also have a pretty good pool themselves
and bars.
and bars. Yeah, so go check out Cabana Bay if you ever wanted to stay there. Now's the time because you get 20% off when
And
spending
after
5
we're
nights or more.
done with the Bag of Happiness Disney tour, we are going to go over to Universal.
You never get Bill out of strong water. What do you mean?
I know.
Just
Exactly.
lead me there.
And
Just
this
lead me
was
there.
funny because we were at one of the bars and Bill's like, "So when do we go to Sapphire Falls?" And Nick's looking at him like, "That's not a Disney bar, dude."
Oh, we need to step up. We need to step up our game here, Nick.
It's now the bars of I-4.
Staying with Universal, the internal demolition has begun for the Groove and Red Coconut Club. The permits have been filed. This is all part of the new facelift for Citywalk.
Yep.
For those of you who are original OGs of Citywalk, you recognize that the Groove was one
Bill's
of
dating himself.
yeah, maybe a little. The Groove was one of the hottest spots in Central Florida as far as clubs go.
Yep.
And I distinctly remember the red room and the blue room, and it was really cool. Red Coconut Club was cool, but it never really caught on, unfortunately.
They used to have an event there every week that moved over to Blue Martini. It was like the one of the radio stations used to do it.
Yeah, they had the Red Coconut Club was cool because it kind of gave that Cabana Bay feeling a little bit.
It did.
And it had it was really, really honestly a cool club, but it just never took off.
No.
So, although this is not confirmed, but rumor has it that the Groove is going to be replaced with an escape room type.
Yep, and that's pretty much what everyone's still sticking to. They've the signs down. Funny thing is, Universal is yet to actually acknowledge the closure of the Groove, even though
Everything's
yeah,
like,
it's kind of like when they built Velocicoaster. What coaster?
yeah, I don't see it.
Well,
But,
yeah.
I mean, the colors are blue and gold, kind of the Universal trademark. It's Project 235 is what the project name, if anyone wanted to look up. And Universal keeps updating the trademark name of Universal's Great Movie Escape. And now it's also being rumored that might be the 2022 attraction because every year Universal opens a new ride or attraction at the parks. Nothing's been opened.
I was going to say,
So
there's
the-
nothing working in the parks
Well,
themselves.
Minions is coming,
Well,
but
yeah, but
they're
that's
saying
not
that's
gonna
pushed to
be-
2023.
You think-
Yeah.
and
you
this will
think
be
the
by-
Shrek? You think that Shrek thing might turn into an escape room?
No.
Themed?
No, the Shrek one's
No,
going to
the
be
Shrek is
Villicon. It's
Minions.
going to be a moving walkway that you stand on and stuff. Kind of take Toy Story idea, I think, is how it's going to play out. And you go to different booths, like it's an expo, and you do stuff, but it's a moving sidewalk that moves you while you stand.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, the Great Escape Room is, they keep renewing it. Now they've done merchandise and different things. Anything you can slap a logo on, basically, Universal's now tied into this trademark.
Shocker.
For, I think it's funny that they have it as Universal's Great Movie Escape since Disney closed down the Great Movie.
Yeah.
Ride.
The great movie ride.
That could be a dig at Disney. You know how they do.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Red
And-
Coconut Club is going to be the comedy club.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live has been always a rumor to go in there. And like I was telling you off prior is it's always Bubba Gump sits right there. So they've always talked about a nightclub / a restaurant. So if Bubba Gump ends up in the next few years basically moving out, I wouldn't be surprised. They share the same kitchen as why.
Right. And finishing up,
But Landry's, I mean, that's a busy location. I don't really see Landry's moving out anytime soon.
Make the rent high enough.
Well, yeah, true.
finishing up with SeaWorld. Obviously, we talked a little bit about this previously, but whether you know or don't know, SeaWorld had made a $3.4 billion offer to buy Cedar Point. So, unfortunately, though, Cedar Fair, the people who own Cedar Point, have said no. They declined offer from SeaWorld Entertainment, Inc. in a statement. They said, in response to inquiries about various stakeholders, we confirm that our offer acquire Cedar Fair was rejected. Unfortunately, we do not see a path to the transaction. What that means is Cedar Point wanted more money, and SeaWorld's like, this is all we're offering, take it or leave it, and they left it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that circles back around once SeaWorld gets a little bit more growth. I mean, they own the Sesame Street parks. They own the Busch Gardens parks. Obviously, SeaWorld's making a turnaround, being the number one park according to, what was it, USA Today or Travel?
Today.
Busch Gardens had 2 of them in the top 5. So
Now, keep in mind, it's not just Cedar Point, right?
Oh, no,
So
they own
Cedar
like
Fair,
4 or 5 parks.
Cedar Fair has about $1.3 billion in annual revenue and operates 13 parks around the United States, including Cedar Point in Sandusky, Kings Island outside of Cincinnati, and it previously owned a former SeaWorld property and former Guana Lake Amusement Park in Aurora,
Yeah,
Bainbridge Township.
I think the SeaWorld was in Ohio.
Yep. So it's interesting. The SeaWorld, I mean, it makes sense for SeaWorld to try to go after it. They get one of their parks back, right? So
Well, I think the one in Ohio closed a
I
long
was
time
going
ago.
to say that
Yeah.
hasn't been operational in years.
Yeah, I don't know the year it closed, but
So there you go, folks. There is your SeaWorld news. And now we are going to bring in Mr. Indy with your Universal news.
all right. So I'm going to quickly jump across the coast since we're talking about different locations anyways, and we're going to hit Hollywood really quick. But Universal Hollywood for HHN has confirmed they will no longer have mazes for their Halloween events. They have
Interesting.
now going to go and basically call them houses like Orlando does. So they're basically on the same page. Like for years, they used to call their Express Pass front of the line. Now they actually refer to them as Express. So they're just trying to get the verbiage equal
The
with
same,
everybody.
okay.
So a lot of people have been doing that switch bait. If you've been online, be like, Universal gets rid of houses or mazes in California.
Blah,
It's
blah,
because they
blah.
did a name change. That's all it is. It's still the same concept. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, they want to make sure they're doing the same thing in Florida as they are in
Oh, yeah.
California.
Makes it
sense.
easier for marketing because they
Yeah.
just did the Monsters Legends Collide. It's both parks. So it's easier to say this house is coming to, and they can basically mirror the verbiage on a lot of things. And if you're in Hollywood, June 9th is annual pass holder takeover night. From 8 to midnight, hosted by Coca-Cola. They'll have party zones, dueling DJs, outdoor lounge, themed games, rides, characters, and more. It is free, but space is limited, so you've got to RSVP. Once
June
again,
9th, are we going?
yeah, out to Hollywood.
Oh, that's in Hollywood. Never mind.
Pay attention. I know you're not reading the book, so.
Clearly.
All right.
I
and-
read a lot, actually. Thank you very much. Probably more than you two combined.
I only
Really?
need 3-4 minutes of that video. But Paragon Flyers at Universal's Islands of Adventures reopened for its brief unscheduled thing. So those who like have a child and want to ride the P Flyers, as it's referred to a lot, has reopened on that one. Universal's also now confirmed Superstar Parade is ending June 4th. So if you are a fan of the parade, they haven't really given much information other than that it's ending. Supposedly the rumors is through August still was meet and greets of it being parked or coming out. So definitely you want to get to the park ASAP on that one if you want to see it. And then Shrek, Donkey, and Fiona meet and greet are temporary closing on June 7th. It's getting moved, but no additional information of when and where it should reopen.
Donkey!
Yep, they're off to go make waffles. So with that whole area basically being transformed anyways for the new Minion ride, it only makes sense to move them somewhere.
Yep.
So not really sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see them more over on the Hollywood Street or somewhere, or maybe back over heading towards Kids Zone. since Kid Zone's getting a lot of love and a lot of fences. You look lost.
I'm looking for my phone. Go ahead, continue.
And then last but not least, obviously the new tribute store has opened. It's got a retro feel to it. E.T., basically extra tasty, is in the first room.
Did you just try to say extra testicles?
Anyone? Okay.
Dave Indy.
Anyone who used to listen to Monsters in the Midday 104.1 when
Yes.
they were here, they had a guy named E.T., and he used to say it stood for extra testicle. So, yes, that is still a
Yes.
habit for me
I
to go there.
remember that. Monsters of the Midday.
With Sexy
Yeah.
Savannah, who actually works at Gatorland, by the way.
Sexy Savannah works at Gatorland?
She works at Gatorland.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
You suddenly got a Gatorland pass.
Yeah.
But
weird.
so E.T.'s the first room, Jaws is the second, Back to the Future is the first one or third one, and the last one is kind of a snack room, but it's got the King Kong photo op on that one where he's grabbing you with a hand and the city skyline in the back in his face. Doesn't so much have a theme other than there's supposedly a sign on the door that says "Happy Birthday, Gregory" on it. So, but it's all themed like a movie theater. When you go in there, it's got posters of old Universal movies and stuff and all that. So if you're in the parks, definitely Universal really does those tribute stores every year.
I'm gonna try and get over to the tribute store on Wednesday.
So yeah, I've seen a lot of photos of it. It looks really good. You just want an ET treat
I do.
because they're extra tasty.
Yes.
ET's tasty.
Or she wants an extra testicle in her mouth.
Really?
But
Oh, stop it.
Why? Don't forget, while you're over there, Rich was wanting the original Jaws stuff.
Yes.
So
But that's what I got for Universal currently, and obviously Epic is up and going.
Oh,
fully
yeah.
going vertical. So
hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore. So thank you, Mr. Dave Indy. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your Universal news. And now we bring in the lovely Tanya with your Disney news.
How are you?
Fine. Thank you for asking.
Good. So, anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind obviously has finally opened this past Friday, May 27th. Reviews are calling it Disney's most intense new roller coaster in years, which it's really Disney's only roller coaster that's opened in years.
Well, it's inside, right? So
it is an indoor coaster, so it's an immersive storytelling coaster. The coaster tracks have the vehicles flying through space and makes you feel like you are actually in a spaceship surrounded by the stars. So that sounds kind of, I know, you would not be able to do this.
no, not at all.
There are 6 different drop sequences, each synced to its own visuals and songs. To ride it is only available by joining a virtual queue, which we discussed on the last podcast.
Good luck.
And the cost for Lightning Lane is $17 at the highest price point, and lowest is $14. Obviously based on demand.
So if you pay that price, are you guaranteed to get on the ride?
Yeah, you go through the Lightning Lane line.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, they're guaranteeing you that you're going to get on.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're paying for it to go on, yes, you are. Yes.
Okay.
So that makes it the most expensive Lightning Lane pass at Disney, which was to be expected. I mean, it's the newest, greatest thing that everybody wants to get on at Disney. The next lowest is still Rise of the Resistance at $15. So if that gives you any idea. So
Right.
I am going to try over the next few weeks to get over to Guardians of the Galaxy and give you my point of view.
There you go.
So
maybe with everyone at Epcot, you can get the Ratatouille now and Rise of the Resistance.
Ratatouille is no longer on Lightning Lane, so
Wow.
Maybe that'll distract people enough to where we can get on some of the other rides.
Exactly.
Yes. Over at Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. This is not Galaxy's Edge in Walt Disney World. It has been announced that Baby Yoda, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and more new characters will be coming, but again, only to Disneyland. Sorry, folks, at Walt Disney World, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah, but I think it's
So-
only a matter of time before they start coming.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably just want to, work out some kinks or whatever, since a majority of the offices and, Lucasfilms and all of that are, on the West Coast, and they'll be able to pop in and see, how things are going or whatnot. But
And the fact
we'll
that the
see.
majority of the employees in California are moving to Florida, whether they like it or not.
Well,
So
they don't. They have the option, and they just don't work for Disney anymore.
Oh, I pass that every single day almost going to work, and they're working hard on that new campus area.
I'm sure they are.
we are. I am transferring within Lockheed Martin, and I'm working out there towards you now. So
Time to move.
by the end of the month. So I'm excited about that.
So,
I'm happy for you.
over at Epcot, more news has come out about the Food and Wine Festival, which starts July 14th. Booths have been announced and will be staggered, opened like they were last year, which should be interesting. I mean, there was obviously quite a few that all opened on July 14th, and then there was a handful of them that were supposed to open up. I want to say it was like mid-September or beginning of October. I think it was like October 1st. But a lot of those that were supposed to open October 1st actually opened a lot earlier than that.
Yeah. So Disney wants to make that money.
Makes
So
you wonder.
I'm not quite sure what they're going to do this year. I mean, obviously they still have the staggered opening, but
Do you think they stagger it on deliberate purpose, or is it more like, shit, what are we going to put in this booth this year?
Could be a little bit of
No,
both, bro.
I mean, there's quite a few.
But they already have that planned out for years.
Yeah,
We
there's-
think.
There's quite a few returning booths. There are very few brand new booths. I only saw like 3 or 4 new booths. So.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the booths have been there forever, right? So
Yeah.
all you really have to do is
Yeah,
worry about
but,
changing the
and
menus.
This is the thing that a lot of people are kind of over about Food and Wine Festival, because it used to be, it was the foodie place to be.
Clearly.
But now a lot of the things that they keep coming out with are quote unquote items that are going to be more popular with, the guests. I mean, there's a mac and cheese booth. I mean, that's comfort food. A lot of the things they're coming out with are all comfort food stuff, which,
Go in the Cracker Barrel.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you can go anywhere and get that kind of stuff. The whole thing about food and wine was to be able to sample stuff that you normally wouldn't see somewhere or be able to, get offered. I mean, that's the whole point of having a food festival.
But you got to put a hell of a spin on it to make it worth it. Like, have Sargento or something sponsor it, and then that would be over. I forget the little area over there on the backside near Nemo and stuff. But that's where I could picture them putting the mac and cheese. Making it like a barbecue pork or bacon.
Yeah, but the mac
smoke
and cheese
something.
booth last year was over near where the playground is.
Yeah, see, I could see it all in that
So-
kind of area,
Yeah.
but just not around the loop around the countries.
But they have to change it up. I mean, they have to keep it fresh, because if they
Yeah.
have the same booths in the same locations at the same time
Yeah,
every
and
year,
there's very few new booths this year.
I don't mind if the booths are in the same place. Just mix up the food.
Yeah.
Don't give me the same thing every year unless it's like that popular item. Like Canada is always going to have its soup.
yeah,
That
the
cheddar soup is always
cheddar soup
is
and the
always
filet
going to be there.
mignon
That's a
and
staple.
steak, yeah. So I mean, obviously, I think you guys are right in the term of the Food and Wine Festival has kind of fallen from grace a little bit here.
And other places
and
have
a lot
stepped
of
it
that
up.
has to do with the fact that the front of Epcot is under construction and they don't really have a festival building any longer.
They
or
will,
at
though.
the moment. Exactly, they will, but for now, it's like you're missing out on like the culinary experiences and and sitting
Didn't
down.
they used to do that
and
over
doing
there in the
classes
building
and
by
stuff.
between Canada
Yes.
and stuff?
Yes, but that's under construction. That is a whole new like kids zone kind of
Oh,
like
I didn't know that.
interactive experience.
And it also doesn't help that
So-
places like SeaWorld stepped up their game with the Seven Seas
Right.
Festival.
Right.
Like they've had that for a long time, but it's like it was here, and
And
now
now
it's
yeah.
no longer a whisper about it. It's
Right.
like elevated.
And I got to be honest with
And
you,
Universal is doing something
They have food
as
trucks
well.
as
and-
well.
Yeah, exactly.
the food at SeaWorld is much better than Disney.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I can honestly say that.
Oh yeah.
and
so-
much more reasonably priced, and you get larger portions.
Yeah.
So,
And they had
There's
free
that.
beer just recently for their pass holders again.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So, but they also announced that Eat to the Beat dates and lineups have also been released with the likes of Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, Air Supply, Hoobastank is new this year, Mark Wills, Boys to Men, Hanson, Billy Ocean, just to name a few. There are a ton more days. I mean, the festival is running like 179 days this year. So
a long time.
It runs from July 14th until November 19th.
Yeah,
so
Big Bad
they've got a
Voodoo Daddies was one of
lot
mine.
of days to fill up.
Oh,
there.
Yeah, and on top of that, we recently got a chance to see Colin Ray, and that was an awesome show.
Oh, I loved that show. It
And,
was so awesome.
I think the concert series for the upcoming food festival is probably going to be pretty stout.
Yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
stout.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. You have Sheila E. and Tiffany and
Oh, I
you
saw.
know,
I used to
et
see Big Bad
cetera.
Voodoo Daddies
Yeah.
in Blue October, but they did Flower and Garden and stuff this year.
Right.
But Big Bad
Yeah.
Voodoo Daddies, God, I saw them. They were my first concert, like in '93 at House of Blues or something.
Well, they may come back. You know, who knows? You can do more than one festival.
Oh yeah. Well,
So-
they weren't on the list. I looked.
Okay.
And to end out Disney news, we're going over to Disney Springs. And Friday, June 3rd, is Donut Day. So, that being said, we made a stopover at Everglazed Donuts.
Forever Glazed.
And
Forever glazed.
And this past weekend, they had a limited edition donut for Memorial Day. So we picked up a few of those.
Trying not to.
Don't even.
Is it, though?
Don't step on my
If you
parade.
missed this donut today, you
Shut
can get
up.
it on the 4th of July.
Is it, though?
It
It's
is.
their second annual semi donut
Whatever.
event.
So
All I can
So,
think of is furniture
we have the
commercials.
Memorial Day donuts.
We have questions while you're gone. We'll discuss this amongst us.
Yes,
So
well, you get the
she's going to
donuts.
get the donuts, but the unsold donuts from Memorial Day, did they just hold on to that
I
till
think they
4th
put
of
them in
July?
the freezer.
Yeah, and they just
They
defrost
do
them?
not.
They,
Stop it.
They get yeasty.
Now, what Tanya's talking about is there's a little controversy about these red, white, and blue sprinkled
And I
donuts.
was giving her so much shit.
And
today.
Dave has successfully exposed this conspiracy.
I did.
Good on you, Dave.
It's on their Instagram, so they screwed up. It's the same donut they had last Memorial Day. It's the same one they do on the 4th of July. So call it what it is. Our second time a year annual donut.
Yeah, so it's very festive. It's red,
It
white,
is.
and blue, as you can see here. And then it's got the little American flag in it. And
Gummy flag. Well, you put it on
well,
the UDN
yeah,
page.
I get it. Put it on the UDN page.
Wait, is that gummy? It doesn't look gummy. So they lied in their own advertisement. It was supposed to be a gummy flag.
Yeah, well, times are tough these days, Dave. Come on. So here we go, folks. We took pictures of this. We'll post it on UDN. It's very festive. It's
Okay,
got
you want in on this card?
the white frosting, and it's got red, white, and blue star confetti on it. It's got a big dollop of frosting and then a U.S. Paper U.S. flag in the middle of
Yeah,
it.
it's
Which was supposed to be
vanilla.
gummy, by the way. They
Yes,
were
it
cheap.
was. So
Whatever.
Maybe the 4th
Well.
of July one will have gummy.
But
maybe there's the difference.
So something a little bit different that most places don't have. They have a donut that's called the Everything Donut.
Yeah, not so much.
So it's one of their regular glazed donuts, and it has a cream cheese frosting, and then it is sprinkled with everything bagel topping. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I got it,
Okay.
and we're going to taste it.
And when you say we,
All of us.
yeah, not so much. I'm not going anywhere near that. That's disgusting.
It is not disgusting. You eat
Anyway.
bagels.
I do, but
What
not
difference
donuts.
does it?
I can say that they added a little more sprinkles than what was originally advertised on their photo.
I can't go crazy with this because you guys will be taking me to the hospital in diabetic shock. But
Well, they're eating the Memorial Day donut. So, and it's their regular glazed donut with vanilla
Tastes like 2021.
icing.
shut up and get my mouth.
Oh, it is good.
So, and I am going to be tasting the Everything Donut. So, let's see.
Now, the everything donut,
It's like a bagel.
does it have a center? It looks like it has a center. It's like a cream cheese center in there or something like that.
As I told Tanya off the air earlier, I was never a big bagel person, so that does nothing for me.
No, that was just when I cut it, the cream cheese went down it.
Okay.
I had a nickel.
Yeah,
for every
it
time.
actually kind of tastes like a everything bagel.
Yep.
Wait, you mean fried dough from a bagel tastes like a fried dough from a donut?
Shocking.
It tastes like
It's
an everything
actually
bagel?
good. Yeah, it really does. Here, you take
Yeah,
a
no,
bite.
I'm good. Thanks. I'm good.
I was very uncertain about it.
Yeah, I'm very uncertain about it right now, looking at it.
I know you are, but it's actually pretty good. I would get it again, actually.
I'm too busy stuffing my face with this
I
other
know,
donut.
you're
Me too.
But anyway, so make sure on Friday, June 3rd, you're going out and celebrating Donut Day.
Or wait till July 4th and you get the patriotic one again.
As we are right now, celebrating Donut Day.
And the day after, June 4th, is Hug Your Cat Day. So if you have a cat,
I think June 9th is Churro Day. 7th or 9th?
I don't know.
Because Universal or Disney was doing something for churros not long ago.
So these donuts are amazing. They're from Everglades, which is in Disney Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, we have a ton of donut places here in Orlando. Obviously, the king is the Donut King, and they're the ones that supply the majority of the donuts for the theme parks. But
Had them not long ago.
Voodoo Donuts was the big first unique themed donut place, and that's over at Citywalk. This is over at Disney Springs, which is kind of the response to that.
Mm-hmm.
They take glazed donuts and they put stuff on top of it. Now, Voodoo,
My favorite is the Oreo one. Oh.
Bacon.
and the sugar crunch one.
But Everglades is coming. They're like introducing different things. Like they have a cinnamon roll now. They've got like a cake, more of like a cakey kind of donut. So
yeah. So and the Voodoo is known for their cakey stuff, and then
They're out of Seattle, I
bake-
think, originally.
right.
I'm surprised they didn't do cock and balls like they have up in Seattle.
I don't know. No idea.
It is a donut. It is on their website.
So do I dare try this?
You're a bagel person. You were a Jersey.
Yeah, I am a bagel person, and I don't mind.
And your wife got excited once I mentioned cock and balls.
I guess so. She got all verklempt. All right, I don't want to do this. I just want you to know.
oh,
But
just do it. Would I steer you wrong?
there is a center to this.
There is not a center. It's just from when I cut it.
It smells like old feet. Seriously.
Oh, good God.
All right.
What's their 2021 everything bagel?
Quit being such a wuss and eat it.
I'm going in. Cover me. Folks, if I don't make it past this,
gotcha.
I love you. Hang on. Yeah, no. Not even close.
No?
Mikey didn't like
you
it?
don't like it, huh?
It's got the regular glazed donut, which is fine. The frosting is sweet, but then you get all the other flavors from the everything bagel.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go well. I like it at all.
See, I thought it was good. But there
Dave,
you
why
go.
don't you jump in that? Tell us how you feel.
nope. I don't
No,
do
you
bagels.
have to be the deciding factor here. We all tasted it, so come
So
on.
it's a one yay,
Let's go.
a one nay, and then now it's up to you to be the deciding factor.
All right, look
and
like
I
an ad.
already
Listen.
say that he's gonna.
try
He's
it.
not a bagel fan, so he's already gonna be a nay. I can
Look,
tell.
I already look like an adolescent boy that just got his first.
Awkward.
Oh, stop,
Can tell you-
guys! Come on.
I can tell you just got back
It's
from
a
church.
family show.
I gotta go back to the red, white, and blue
Cleanse the palate.
to cleanse the palate. Dave Indy just tried it. Stand by.
I honestly don't know how I feel about that one.
That doesn't really help us, Dave.
I feel like that would be a potato chip flavor or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
So do you like it or not?
I mean, would I go in there and order it? Hell no. I'd get the 2021 donut again, but
The regurgitated 2021 donut.
Oh, stop!
the leftovers from
It is
4th of
freshly
July.
made every day. Just stop, you two.
They can't.
Enough.
They cannot say
Enough.
They cannot say it's limited edition when they make it for 4th of July and for Memorial Day. It's not limited edition.
It is because it's only served for a few days. It's a limited edition.
Twice a year, every year.
Exactly. It's not something you can get every single day.
Wait
Hence,
for it.
Limited
Wait.
edition.
Wait for it. Thank you.
Let me go on their website, see if I can
take that button away from
I'm
you.
going to see if I can find other donuts that resemble this with different color sprinkles for the different holidays.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm not feeling that at all.
Well, you don't have to.
Great. So, good thing because I'm not eating it.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I would not go in there and just to order that. Thank God you paid for it.
I mean, it's unique in the
Yes.
sense that they're trying new things, and I give them props. And it's a glazed donut, and the cream cheese icing is very sweet. But then it's got all the stuff that you would find on a bagel, the salt and the pepper and the garlic and everything else, and it's just
Poppy seed.
seed,
Maybe on a
chives.
cookie or something different
Yeah, no.
as a dip for potato chips. Maybe that's why.
For the purpose of breaking this tie, Dave, where are we at?
Because she paid for it, I would eat it based off of that. But other than that, I would not pay for it.
You are dodging the question like you're on some kind of jury here. The question
No,
is
you're
simple.
just upset that he's not swinging over onto your side.
Not at all.
Get over
If
yourself.
Dave says yes, then it's a yes and we move on. But see, here's the thing. It's a yes or no. Do you like it or not? Yes or no?
As you said, it was unexpected.
Right. Does he like it or not? Yes or no?
51, yeah. 49, no.
Oh, what is that? Ladies and gentlemen, this new donut apparently is a hit.
Yeah, no, I
there
already
you
said she
go.
paid for it and I wouldn't go buy it.
Yeah.
I'm over here looking like
so
a
much.
13-year-old boy right now with my donut.
Yeah. So the new old 4th of July / Memorial Day design here is very festive, very 4th of July-ish, very Memorial Day-ish. We appreciate them doing this special donut. What would make this cooler is if they donated the funds to charity.
Yes.
But we'll take it as it comes.
Wounded Warrior or something.
Yeah. So those flavors are awkward. But speaking of awkward, it's about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dave Indy with your Ask Indy segment. This is the segment where you write into the show on UDN Facebook page, and Mr. Dave Indy will answer your questions on the air. Tanya's taking pictures of the donut.
At least it's the stale donut.
Push her in, Simba. Push her in.
Go full Mufasa. Push her.
Mr. Dave Indy.
Hey, this comes from Sam in Kentucky. Wants to know, and I'm going to include Central Florida as in Busch Gardens, just so you know. How many roller coasters do the Central Florida theme parks and attractions, because the Fun Spot, have?
Are we including Fun Spot?
Yes. That's why I said theme park and attractions. Because theme park, or they're part of Central Florida and then they got the rides, so technically they got to be included.
And Busch Gardens and all that too, right?
Including Icon Park and all of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many roller coasters are in the Central Florida theme parks, a.k.a. attractions?
Well, SeaWorld's got 6, right? So
Well, I want to hear your math because I
And
always
then-
like your math.
my math is always well calculated. You know that.
Yeah.
So let's say 6 for SeaWorld. Let's go 4 for Islands of Adventure. Is the indoor roller coasters considered roller coasters?
Well, that's why they're called roller coasters.
But they're not technically roller coasters, though. They're indoor attractions. So,
I mean, it's considered a roller coaster.
okay.
Rock and roller coaster. Coaster. Space Mountain.
It's a roller coaster.
I'm just spitballing here. I'll say 250.
If that's the case, why don't you go ride the new Guardians of the Galaxy if it's indoors and not considered a coaster, Bill?
Well, it is considered an indoor attraction, Dave. And my guess is 250. Are you eating my donut? What's wrong with your donut?
It's photogenic.
I'm saving it.
4? 4th of July? Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
For the win! Again, I only meant roller coasters, not actually all the rides at each park.
Easy, Dave. Easy. Don't get so violent.
It's the sugar rush.
Clearly. My God. Got to check your blood sugar, bro.
It's the result from the everything donut.
All right. So all of Central Florida, though, right?
Roller coasters only, yes.
I'll say 200. 200 would be my guess. All of Central Florida. 200.
So he got 200 roller coasters. What about you?
I'm assuming that's not right. By the way, Dave is looking at me right now with that "are you stupid" look. I think I might be off. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with like 35.
Well, if the price is right, she would be the closest without going over.
Is that right? Well,
Yeah.
I guess I was a little over.
You're making it. The death boxes do not count as coasters.
Well, they are technically on the line. So, what's the final verdict?
All right. So currently there is 40 roller coasters in Central Florida.
Wow, not even close.
How the hell you getting 200?
I'm thinking Busch Gardens. I'm thinking all
So-
kinds of other rides. You know, like I
Fun
don't
Spot Orlando has 3. The Kissimmee has 4. SeaWorld currently has 6 coasters.
I was right about that.
Busch Gardens has 10. Magic Kingdom is 4. Epcot now has 1. Studio has 2. Animal Kingdom only has 1. Now, Universal Studios has 4, and IOA has 5. If SeaWorld's unannounced one we know is building, that will make total of 41. And once Epic opens, assuming that they're going to have 4, we'll be at 45 coasters in Central Florida, assuming Busch Gardens or something doesn't build anything since. So 40 right now, Bill, not 200. And that's why I was like, let me clarify. I just meant coasters.
Okay, I may have been a little off. But you know my math is not right. Come on. Why are you laughing over there?
That's why I like having Bill do math.
I know, right? This is awesome. I love you, sweetheart, but you suck at those guessing games.
I feel attacked. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
Like
Ask
an
Indy.
Everglazed donut.
I feel attacked.
Like an Everglazed Memorial donut.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your Ask Indy.
I don't even think there's that many in
Featuring
the
Dave
state
Indy.
of Florida.
45. Wow.
40 currently.
Well, maybe in the whole country. Have we ever looked that up? How many roller coasters are in the whole country?
No.
Because that could be close to 200.
At that point,
Hey, Google, how many roller coasters are in the country?
What country?
Exactly. You have to be a little bit more specific.
760 coasters across the United
Yeah, because
States.
I'll say,
Oh, crap.
I knew you were still low.
Wow.
Yeah, because you figure you have Six Flags and
They have
Knott's
13,
and-
14
yeah.
between Cedar and
It's crazy.
Magic Mountain
San
had so
Francisco,
many and all that.
Dollywood,
And any tiny little
King's
amusement
Dominion,
place,
and- yeah,
like a fun
exactly.
spot in Atlanta has one or
Dorney
two.
Park, Hershey Park, yeah.
All right, so moving on. Swing and a miss. Moving on to random topic. Now, being that it's Memorial Day and we are stuffing our faces with 4th of July donuts.
Memorial Day donuts.
Oh, that's right. Memorial Day donuts, sorry.
Last year's donut.
We bring in this celebration of our fallen, and typically it's a very somber holiday, but it is also the benchmark start of summer.
Yes.
So a lot of people celebrate the fact that summer's coming, right? Here comes the bathing suits, here comes the boats and the beaches and everything else, right?
Kids are out of school.
Coney Island area, I
Yeah,
think, really
man.
went into full swing today. I saw on the news.
We're going to cover for random topic 9 things you may or may not know about Memorial Day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your random topic.
Random topic.
All right, so before we get into this is no special ranking. We're going to start with number 1. We'll go down to number 9. There is a lot to this, so I'm going to try to get through it, and I'm going to pull a Tanya reading thing here for a little bit. But you'll have, she's giving me the eye. Interesting stuff here. So let's get into this. Number 1, Memorial Day's traditions have ancient roots. While the first commemorative Memorial Day event wasn't held in the United States till 19th century, the practice of honoring those who have fallen in battle dates back thousands of years. Ancient Greeks and Romans held annual days of resemblance for the people, including soldiers that they lost, and they would put flowers on graves, hold festivals in their honor. In Athens, they had funerals for their fallen soldiers after each battle, and the remains of the dead were on display for public mourning before the funeral procession took them to a location for the ceremony. So the first public tributes to war, the first time that they started tracking Memorial Day was 431 BC, when an Athenian general, stated Perkius, delivered a funeral procession praising the sacrifices of the people who died in the Peloponnesian War. And then, of course, it was a speech compared to the Abe Lincoln Gettysburg. Number 2, one of the earliest commemorations was organized by recently freed African Americans. Many people don't know this, but as the end of the Civil War happened, thousands of Union soldiers, can't talk today, held as prisoners of war and were herded into a series of hastily assembled camps in Charleston, South Carolina. These camps were near a former racetrack near the Citadel, and 250 prisoners died of disease and exposures and were buried in a mass grave behind the track's grandstand. 3 weeks after the Confederate surrender, an unusual procession formed May 1st, 1865, and more than 1,000 people that were recently freed from enslavement attended to celebrate the fallen. Very interesting. All right, number 3, the holiday's founder had a long and distinguished career. Now, if you don't know, General John A. Logan is responsible for creating what is known as Decoration Day. Decoration Day is what we call Memorial Day now. So back in 1868, this general, commander-in-chief of the Union Veterans Group, made a decree that May 30th should be a national-wide day to commemorate the soldiers that got killed in the Civil War. That's how the basis of Memorial Day came about.
Okay.
On Decoration Day, Logan was dubbed Americans should lay flowers and decorate graves of war to the dead to honor the dead during this time period. According to legend, Logan chose May 30th because it was a rare day that didn't fall on the anniversary of the Civil War battle, though some historians believe the date was selected to ensure that flowers across the country would be in full bloom.
Makes sense.
To put on graves, right?
Right.
So
Interesting.
when he died, his body was laid to rest in the rotunda at the United States Capitol building, making him just one of 33 people that have received that honor. Today, Washington, D.C.'s Logan Circle and several townships across the county are in name of him. So that's interesting. Number 4, Logan probably adapted the idea to earlier events in the South, talking about the commemorative of the fallen. That's where he kind of got the idea. And really, honestly, the basis of Memorial Day came from the people who got killed during the Civil War. That's kind of where Memorial Day started. So, number 5, it didn't become a federal holiday until 1971. America embraced the notion of Decoration Day immediately. In that first year, they had more than 27 states hold some kind of ceremony and more than 5,000 people in attendance at the Arlington Cemetery. And by 1890, the former State of the Union adopted it as an official holiday. Well, for more than 50 years, the holiday was used to commemorate the people who got killed in the Civil War and not any other American conflict. That all changed when America got into World War I and had all those people killed, right? So now it's nationally recognized all wars, not just Civil War. Number 6, going from Decoration Day to Memorial Day was a long road, apparently. It began in the 1880s, officially known as Decoration Day, but 4 years later, the Uniform Monday Holiday Act of 1968 went into effect, moving Memorial Day from its traditional observance from May 30th, regardless of the day of the week, to a set date, which is the last Monday in May, which is still in place today. Veterans groups concerned about Americans associating the holiday with the first long weekend of summer, but it wasn't intended to recognize summer per se. It was intended to honor the people who have passed away. So it just happens that it's a freak coincidence that Memorial Day falls on the weekend that summer begins. So it's a combination of celebrating our fallen and celebrating the start of summer.
Yeah.
Many people weren't crazy about that.
Technically, summer doesn't start until June 20th.
Well, yeah, but it's known as the kickoff date. Right?
Kind of like Labor Day is the end of summer.
More than 20 towns, number 7, more than 20 towns claim the holiday's birthplace, but only one has federal recognition. So as long as it's been a holiday, there's been a rivalry of where and who celebrated it first.
Of course there is.
Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, based its claim in 1964, a gathering of women to mourn the recently dead in Gettysburg. In Carbondale, Illinois, 1866, they had a parade that celebrated that. And part of John Logan had been in the Columbus area and battled out for Memorial Day supremacy. The only town, however, who's received official seal of approval from the U.S. government, 1966, 100 years after the town of Waterloo, New York, shuttered its business and took to the streets in community-wide celebration of Memorial Day. President Lyndon Johnson signed the legislation recently passed by U.S. Congress, declaration that the tiny upstate village is the official birthplace of Memorial Day. Waterloo, New York. Ever wonder why there's red poppies associated with Memorial Day? It's very interesting.
I don't.
19
That's never came across my mind.
Well, it dates back to 1915. The bright red flowers began poking through the battle. I cannot speak today.
Hooked on phonics.
Let's go. Oh my gosh.
It's that donut. That donut's got me all jacked up.
Oh, whatever.
Thinking it was a
That
bagel.
forever glazed?
Yeah. So let me start again. In spring of 1915, bright red flowers started poking through battle-ravaged land across North France and Flanders, which is North Belgium. Canadian Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, who served as a brigadier surgeon for an Allied artillery unit, spotted a cluster of poppies shortly after serving during the bloody Battle of Ypres. The sight of these red flowers against the dreary background of war inspired McCrae to write the poem In Flanders Field, talking about the poppy-colored grounds. Later that year, a Georgia teacher and volunteer war worker wrote a poem that We Shall Keep the Faith, which mentioned the poppies as a tribute to all of those who died in the war, and the poppy remains the symbol of resemblance to this day. Now, something interesting about poppies. Now, when you wear a poppy flower, you are actually, it's a symbol of resemblance of the people who died, right? But what you may not know is the poppy flower is actually a weed. It is not a flower at all. And it gives a sense of tenacious nature because it just spreads like wildfire. So a lot of other people, there was speculation that the blood of the dead in the fields, that originally poppies were white, but the blood of the dead tainted the flowers to red, and it represents the souls of the people who died. So that was another reason why they chose the red poppies.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, and then number 9, I know I just kind of rocketing through this, but number 9, Memorial Day traditions have evolved over the years. Despite increased celebration of the holiday as the summer rite of passage, there are some formal rituals that are still on the books. The American flag should be hung at half-mast until noon and then raised to the top of the staff. And since 2000, when the U.S. Congress passed the legislation, all Americans are encouraged to pause for a national moment of remembrance at 3 p.m. local time. Federal government also used the holiday to honor non-veterans, as the Lincoln Memorial was dedicated on Memorial Day in 1922.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So there is some news on Memorial Day.
Interesting.
Lots of facts I did not know.
Yeah.
Yeah, being that your host can't read.
Yeah, I think we need a
Yeah, we knew
podcast
that one.
host.
Yeah, awkward. That was like Tanya reading her stuff. It's just painful. So
Let me quote this NISD guy.
Wow.
nothing but love, dear. Nothing but love. So as we celebrate Memorial Day and we move on from the holiday, just
offended.
remember that it is about recognizing and paying tribute to the people who lost their lives. Without them, we would not be here today. And it's something that needs to continue to be honored. And truth be told, in my opinion, which this and $5 will get you a cup of coffee, this should be a month celebration, not a day.
Yeah.
And that's just my point. Veterans today have paid the ultimate price, whether they survived or whether they didn't. And every day there's veterans walking around that have gone through things that you cannot possibly imagine. We are averaging 22 suicides a day, and that's where you get the 22 a day stuff from. They're fighting mental battles because some of the stuff that the veterans have gone through would make the average person cringe, and they were forced to go through that kind of stuff. And then when they retire or get out, they are literally abandoned. When you get out of the military, it is not something like, okay, here's the door, thanks for everything. It is cold turkey, fuck you, bye.
Closing time. Get out.
And a lot of veterans can't handle that because they're so used to being in a certain structured environment, and then all of a sudden they're kicked out. So the combination of the people that we've lost plus the combination that people that continue to fight their personal battles, PTSD is a real thing. It's not something to throw around like your coffee's too hot, so now you have PTSD. I find that insulting. I really do.
Extremely.
You cannot get PTSD from burning a cup of coffee. You're mentally weak. There's a difference. That's my opinion. But when you're in a firefight and the guy next to you gets his head blown off and you watch it and you're fighting for him to stay alive, that kind of stuff stays with you forever.
Yeah.
When you're in a Humvee and it blows up and you're the only one that survives, you're going to be fucked up for the rest of your life, especially when you're sitting next to a 19-year-old who's dead. So, and that plays horrible, horrible things on people.
Yeah.
Put things in perspective, people.
So don't throw around PTSD like it's some kind of fad. Have respect for the people who have sacrificed for the freedoms that we have. And for the veterans that are struggling out there, just know you're not alone. And continue to fight that good fight and get through what you're trying to get through. And it's really tough. So I really honestly feel that the veterans deserve more.
Yeah.
And they're getting less. So we'll move on from that before I get on my soapbox, because I know how much you guys love my soapbox.
Sit up there with your math skills.
Yeah, well,
No.
between my math and reading skills, it looks like I have to go back to school. Jesus.
You are in school.
Well, there's that, but whatevs.
We know how his reading skills were because he got his information all wrong that he needed to do originally.
Yeah. So anyway, we're moving on. Assholes. Obviously, moving into sponsors because we are running very long today. Tanya wouldn't shut up. So nothing but love for you, dear. Obviously, Rockstars and Flowers, they're killing it. They're doing very well. Clint's going to be coming down for a visit here in mid-July.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to having him down. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast, and we'll talk about what the updated stuff coming up for Rockstars and Flowers are. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out at rockstarsflowersart.com.
Yes.
These guys are absolutely amazing, and if you have somebody that you idolize / stalk, they can make a painting of them or her. And
Norway girls.
they absolutely do a phenomenal job. They paint all this stuff by hand, and then they put flowers in the background. Their prized possession is the Jimi Hendrix 3D painting that they are known for. And even rock stars themselves are ordering stuff. So very cool. And, of course, we're going to talk about Christina. We're going to talk about Scentsy by Christina. Super cool that we have her on as a sponsor of the podcast. She wanted to let us know to pass on to everybody that tomorrow is the last day for the Cinderella and Turning Red collections. that will be available from Sensi. Now, Cinderella is obvious. Turning Red is that Red Panda movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. They will go into the vault and they will no longer be available.
So that's like Simba, where it's the red stuffed panda, and then you have the Sensi pack.
So you stick the Sensi pack up the backside of asking for a friend, bro. Like, I'm just trying to pay attention here. You know what I mean?
At least they don't come like beads.
The last podcast, Simba was walking around nervous for a couple of hours. There's like, well, I hope that I'm not next. So,
and that's a more fruity kind of scent.
So the thing's leaving on May 31st. Disney Cinderella
Lord.
collection and the Disney Pixar's Turning Red. Obviously, they're going to come out with new stuff. They're always coming out with new stuff. We talked about the Lion King stuff last podcast. Really, really cool stuff. Yeah. Awesome smelling stuff. And the waxes are familiar. Obviously, some of the top of the line waxes that are out there. So if you're interested to seeing what she has, obviously go check out ChrissyP74.sensi.us. That's ChrissyP74.sensi.us.
And Chrissy is a C or a K?
C. CH.
Just making sure you put it out there.
P74.sensi.us.
Somebody with a K out there going, I can't find it.
I can't find this damn website. So feel free to order from her. She is a sponsor. She is vetted. We are proud to have her on the as far as the UDN family. So if you're interested in getting some Sensi stuff, go through her. She is awesome. All right. That's going to do it, folks. I think we have properly honored our fallen. We have increased our blood sugar levels with all these cupcakes. Cupcakes? No, donuts. Especially that one there. That.
The everything.
I can't get the taste off my tongue.
Not for everybody.
Yeah, clearly.
You get like
But
one of those packages that go in the cat's butt.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself at Disney Springs, go check out Everglazed. Check out the new donuts that they have. It's awesome. If you can't get this one for Memorial Day, wait for 4th of July.
Yep. They'll have them in the back.
Keep in mind, these parks are getting busier and busier. And once we get closer to the holidays, it is going to be stupid. Be patient when you're in these parks. Drink a lot of water. It's hot during the day. Cools off at night.
We are going to do our public service announcement about keeping hydrated, because I read so many posts this past week about people, having the ambulance called, bringing them to the hospital because they were dehydrated. When we were at Epcot for the Colin Ray concert, there were 3 separate incidents that we saw alone at Epcot that night.
True story.
So, and there was a guy at Universal. He fell because he had spent the day at Discovery Cove the day before, hadn't properly rehydrated.
Besides the alcohol.
Was at Universal. They were at Diagon Alley. He passed out in Diagon Alley. He ended up going to the hospital, getting stitches above his eye. So don't put yourself through that. You're on vacation. You're here to, enjoy yourselves, have a good time. Water. Also, Powerade, Gatorade, get those electrolytes in you. Exactly.
Seriously, bro.
Do what you can.
Seriously, bro. It's one of those deals where...
I mean, we may sound like broken records, but...
see, that's the thing, though. We got to reinforce that, because a lot of the people that are coming down are coming from out of state. They're not used to this heat. They're not adjusted to the climate. Their bodies are trying to adjust to the climate. It's like us going out to Vegas, right?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
We have to keep drinking.
Heat exhaustion is bad.
By the time you get accustomed to the climate, it's time to go home, right? So then you got to get accustomed back to the way it is.
I work in it, and I'm dead every afternoon. I go home. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, take precautions when you're in these parks. Parks are going to get busy. They're at capacity. They're almost at capacity. They will be at capacity soon. Have patience.
Yep.
And, at the end of the day, have fun, man.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Already packed.
Absolutely.
SeaWorld.
Universal. SeaWorld, bro.
SeaWorld, bro.
Oh, jeez.
SeaWorld.
SeaWorld, bro.
Stop.
I'm trying to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in these parks, have fun, be safe, and we'll talk soon.
You have been listening to the official Universal Disney Nuts podcast. please visit our website at worldofudn.com and join us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for all the latest updates, news, and events from your favorite theme parks. See you in 2 weeks.